My guests are Barry Zimmerman and Dave McQueenie. They are with the Coastal Harmonizers. Thanks for being with us, gentlemen.
Pleasure.
Let's talk a little bit first about what barbershop music is. Tell us just a little bit about its history.
Well, barbershop music is a uniquely American phenomenon. It happened back, it became very prevalent back in the late 18th century, and through vaudeville became even more popular early in the 19th century. And it waned somewhat when vaudeville went out of vogue, but was revived by a group of men in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1938 who invited a group of men to sing harmony together with themselves. And that kind of mushroomed from place to place and has become a very large and thriving organization.
I want to talk about your group in just a minute, but Dave, how did you get involved in barbershop?
Actually, I got involved when I was in college.
Okay.
I was singing in the college glee club, and myself and three other guys got together, and we decided we actually took the tracks off the Buffalo Bills songs from the Music Man, and one of our guys, our bass, was able to put it to music, and we sang it, and we decided we're pretty good. So we went out and sang at the college and at places around the city that the college was in.
Great.
We had a lot of fun.
Barry, how about you? How did you get involved in barbershop?
Well, unlike Dave, I've actually only been involved in barbershop for a little over a year. The group decided to have a guest night about a year ago over at the community college, and I decided to give it a try. I had been in other kinds of music before and had heard barbershop and wasn't quite sure that it was for me. And went over to the college and was entertained by these guys and saw what they did, and I immediately fell in love with it. In fact, they were even crazy enough to bring me into a couple of their quartets, having no experience. And even with that, they still invited me back to begin. So I've been in it for a little over a year.
Coastal Harmonizers, that's your group, and they're relatively new. Tell us more about the Harmonizers.
Sure. There were a handful of guys that had a vision almost 2 years ago now. Basically, these folks had been involved in other barbershop groups locally, but they tended to be about an hour or so away. So their vision was to create a local group in Brunswick County. Excellent. And that vision has now brought us forward through their hard work and their patience to what we now call the Coastal Harmonizers in Brunswick County.
So you have a choral group and you have quartets. Tell us about the distinction between the two and how that works in your club.
Well, the Barbershop Harmony Society is a society of approximately 800 chapters all over this country and internationally too. We have chapters in Sweden and England and New Zealand and other places in the world. And each chapter strives to have a group of men and incorporates them into a chorus with 20 or more, and some choruses are as large as 150. Out of each of those choruses, usually quartets are formed, and they're formed informally by the members of the chorus who feel that they have the compatible voices that would sound good together in a quartet. And that's basically how the quartets are formed. Sure.
Now, Barry, I'm probably speaking for myself, but also for numerous of our viewers who say, you know, I really enjoy singing. You know, I like to sing in the bathtub. I have a moderately good voice. Is barbershop for me?
Yeah, that's a great question, and we get that a lot. Our rule of thumb is typically if you're comfortable singing a song like Happy Birthday, sure, at the family's birthday party, chances are you're going to be capable of singing in a barbershop quartet.
Good, good. Dave, before we went on the air, you told us about your long day on Valentine's Day. Tell us a little bit about that. I think our viewers would be interested.
Valentine's Day is a day that barbershoppers absolutely love. And we do this Valentine's every year, and most choruses or chapters will do it. We offer to sing a song or two, present a rose and a card with a sentiment from the sender, and we will go to homes, we'll go to restaurants, we'll go to places of business, we'll go almost anywhere. Go to schools.
Great.
Love doing it at schools. And sing those songs, and we get wonderful reactions from the people to whom we're singing, and from the people who are sending it, who sometimes are there, sometimes they're not. And of course, the quartets themselves get a great kick out of doing it.
Sure.
We love to do it, and it's something we do every year, and I get to love it more and more every year. It's just great.
Yeah. Now, because she's a good friend of mine, I can't help but mention Barbara Berry, who is your director. Tell us more about that, about Barbara.
Yes, well, we really were seeking somebody, regardless of sex in this case. Normally, as Dave has mentioned, it's an all-men's group.
Right.
Many of us were familiar with Barb and her music background and some of the other work that she does. And we just felt that we would go after the best person for the job. And Barbara has been fantastic. There are a couple of other female directors out there, and we're absolutely thrilled to have Barbara.
Well, she's so enthusiastic and a good friend, and I know she's doing just a great job.
Fantastic. To put up with all of us.
All right.
Yes.
Back to myself or our viewer who might have an interest. Could I just stop by during one of your rehearsals and either sit in or listen in?
Absolutely. We welcome that. We meet every Thursday evening from 7 to 9 at the Southport Center, which is in the same area, the same parking lot actually as the Wyndham Hotel. And last week, just to give you an example, we had 17 folks there, and 3 of the people were visiting other folks for a week or two and decided to come in and sing with us. So that's fabulous to do that. Of course, we always welcome folks of any age that want to join the group and join us on Thursday evenings.
Good. Do you have some future bookings that we might be interested in?
We have one coming up just this next week. We'll be singing at a retirement center in Southport for the folks there, and we expect to have more in the future.
Good, good.
Yes, and we actually have a guest night coming up May 19th, and we'll have more on that as time allows. But
A guest night is to invite those that might be interested.
that's correct.
All right.
Yes.
Barry, you alluded to some contact information, but how might an interested party get in touch with you?
Sure. Well, we have a membership committee chairman, and that is Phil Andriano, and I believe his information will come up at the end of the broadcast.
We'll provide that on screen,
Right
of
on
course.
screen. But for that matter, anybody that has an interest that wants to drop by Thursday evening at 7 o'clock at the Southport Senior Center, we will welcome them with open arms, have music ready.
Great. Dave, as we conclude this interview, tell us a little bit about the quartet that we will hear in the next few moments.
Our name is Brunswick Stew, and we came up with that obviously because we all live in Brunswick County. Two of the guys live in Charlotte. One of the guys lives in Winding River, and I live in St. James. And we got together as a result of being in this group that we have, just as I described how these quartets are generally formed. And we sang together a couple of times, and we said, "Hey, that's not a bad sound. Let's continue." Okay. So we did,
Yeah.
And that's how we got together.
Excellent. Dave McQueenie and Barry Zimmerman, thank you for being with us.
Jim,
We
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you,
And look
Jim.
forward to
Appreciate
hearing from your quartet.
Thank you.
The gentlemen to my left are the Brunswick Stew. They are the barbershop quartet and a part of the larger group of the Coastal Harmonizers. To my immediate left is Dave McQueenie. Dave, you sing tenor. Is
I
that
sing
correct? To his left is Mike Prokop. Mike, you're the lead.
That's correct.
Bob Zink, you're the bass, correct?
Right.
And finally, Bill Clegg, you sing baritone.
That's correct.
These gentlemen are terrific, and I'm very glad they're with us today. They're going to sing 2 great barbershop songs, Heart of My Heart and Shine on Me. Again, the Brunswick Stew.
Heart of my heart, I love you. Life would be naught without you. Light of my life, my darling, I love you. I love you. I can forget you never. From you I ne'er can sever. Say you'll be mine forever. Oh, shine on me in the morning, shine on me. Will the light in the lighthouse shine on me? Shine on me in the evening. Shine on me. I wonder if the light